Hi, everybody. I'm sorry I can't be there today, but I should be back tomorrow. But I just wanted to make sure that you knew exactly what to do, and I know that Miss Van Skelton, who's there for me today, will be able to help support all of you. But I just want to take a moment and make sure that everyone was okay. But what I need you working on today, and you should be finishing it hopefully within class today. If not, you'll have to bring it back to class immediately to um, tomorrow. But in your classroom under week 12, you have this assignment planning trailer recut genre bending trailer. For most of you, if you were here with me on Friday, you received a hard copy of this. If you do not have a hard copy of this, um, your sub has copies of these. Otherwise, there are copies right in here where you can print that out. So to get this started, please read through this, but then I really want you to get into this part of the project itself. So this is going to be your plan form for the most part. Because for this project, much like the last one, planning is imperative. So you really need to think about how this is going to work. And a lot of pre-thought needs to happen specifically with what movie is going to best meet your needs. And I know some of you were asking, can we do TV shows? Yes, because I know that a lot of you, excuse me, already know some TV shows pretty well. So those would probably be a great source for you. But the goal of this project is for students to create a movie trailer to produce an emotional reaction from the audience that is the opposite of the original film or the intention of the original film. This project will be done individually. You'll be creating an anti-movie trailer using footage from the movie of your choice, and you will choose clips that can be sequenced and edited together to create an opposite-themed genre-type movie trailer. And here are some examples. So in your Google Classroom, if you click on this actual link, each of these are a link to those particular trailers. So if you click on them, you can see that individual trailer. Like this one is for Shining, or The Shining as a romantic comedy. So you can see that. But do take a look at a couple of these just to kind of get yourself inspired, because it can be a really fun project. And it seems like it'll be a simple project, but to do it well, you actually have a lot of pre-thinking to do. And you also have to do some real magic with your editing. So take a look at some of these examples. Genre shifting videos projects are valuable in a number of ways. You're going to be challenging yourself to think deeply about the grammar of storytelling while considering essential elements of creating a video, such as music, timing, your edits, your cuts, effects, pauses, silence for various genres. You will have a keen eye for the curation involved in finding and gathering elements that would support a chosen genre. Think about what elements support a certain genre as developed by movie producers, and use those elements to reinvent a current film as a trailer. So the idea of the fact that we're using and creating a trailer allows you to shorten the story. And it also allows you to create a story that it doesn't have to have a closure point, because we'll talk about it more when I get back, but the grammar of storytelling for a trailer, or the story arc, is where you introduce the characters, you introduce the conflict, and then you leave it ambiguous at the end, or you create what's called the hook, so that audiences want to see the remainder of the story, and then they come to see your movie. So, requirements: previews must use appropriate footage, approved for all audiences. Your running time is going to be about 1 to 2 minutes, but I think you're going to be fine with that. The movie is your choice. Planning sheets like this one need to be approved prior to starting the work. And it's going to really be a lot about the audio itself. Different music can completely change the entire look and feel of all the images that you see, and where you keep the audio of the language or like the verbiage that's in the story, and where you decide to edit it out can completely change the understanding of what the characters are saying. So choose audio that has a tone you wish to create. Edit to the beat of the film. If you include dialogue, be sure you duck the music so we can hear it. So it's going to be about those moments too where the audio can override or over top of your imagery. So you can take audio from one clip and run it over the imagery of another to completely change the feel of what that visual might be. You can also think about things like using someone that's narrating what you're seeing or voiceovers. The title, the lead in for the trailer, some sort of green screen introduction, titles or voiceovers if appropriate. So you'll have that green screen introduction, and that'll be a requirement that you usually see at the beginning of trailers. All titles should be formatted properly and timed appropriately and animated appropriately, appropriate transitions, and appropriate video effects. I'm hoping for this project to get into After Effects a bit, specifically understanding how to use After Effects with title work. So you can kind of create some more emphasis maybe around the title of the movie. And this is also going to be a practice not only in editing, but how you let those clips see the story through. Like, where do you pause? Where do you build up emotion? So by the end of today, I want you to be thinking and have this information. So to get your brainstorm going, list at least 4 of your favorite movies or TV shows, and then tell me what that genre is. You can do this either digitally if you want to, or you have a hard copy version as well. So it's up to you how you want to do this. Now choose 2 movies from the list above and list possible alternative genres that could actually work. So I don't want you to pick something that's too similar. I want you to really stretch yourself and do something that might be close to the opposite. But you have to think about the footage that's available to you and see if it's something that's actually feasible. After that, I want you to talk to 2 other students in the class and get their opinion on the best scenario. So which of these two, so which 2 movies from above and which 2 alternate genres do your fellow students decide for you they think they would like to see most or would actually work? So students need to sign off on this. You'll actually have to talk to people. Yes. What is the name of your chosen movie? Where will you be getting the footage necessary to complete this project? So if you're planning on sourcing everything from YouTube, let me know. If you're planning on sourcing it from the DVD you have at home, let me know. What is the current genre or theme of your movie or show? What anti-movie emotion or genre will you be trying to create? And then to start to think about how are we going to represent this and create this? What are the characteristics of your new genre? So if you're going to do comedy, where's a typical setting for this? Typical characters, typical plot lines, typical props and objects, typical themes. So if we talk about horror, I think we can pretty much identify all of these. So if we talk about romance, I think we have a general idea on some of these, but setting, it could be kind of anywhere if you're talking about romance. But if you're talking about horror, usually it's at night, in situations where the high schoolers are alone. That's what we're looking for. So things that are characteristic or archetypal to those particular genres, what are those characteristics? So what you will incorporate into your project to add interest, creativity, and to produce an emotional reaction from your audience, are you going to have background audio? And what song do you think you're going to have? If you're not sure yet, tell me what kind of song. So if you're thinking suspenseful or horror-like or romance or comedy, what kind of music will you be looking for? Will you be using voiceovers? You can also say maybe. Are you going to have titles? And what I mean by that are those titles, those ridiculous titles that you see in between different clips, which further the story and can be very helpful to you if you're missing the visuals to further your story. So these little titles can walk you through it. Any video effects that you think that you might need, such as if you're making it black and white, anything else, and then anything else that you think that you're going to have to try to figure out for yourself. So as you go on, create an outline for your trailer. Who are your characters? Where does this film take place? What obstacle will the main character have to overcome? What types of scenes are you going to use to make this happen? And then what is the ambiguous part? Where's the cliffhanger? What's the hook that's going to draw someone in? So if you're making a movie that's like a horror movie but making into a romance, I'm assuming the hook is probably going to be something like, will the two end up together? So if you're making like Halloween into a romance, will Michael Myers and Laurie end up together? I don't know. So you have to think about that. So, and then this is the rest of our regular editing. How are we going to put things together? And this is just your support. But I want you to either turn this in by the end of class today or first thing the following day when I'm hope to be back. Okay? Email me if you have questions, but you can also turn this in through Google Classroom.